It's been a hotbed for seismic activity. I mean, look at that. Several powerful tremors, many just minutes apart. Powerful tremors. Now seismologists think it could trigger quakes on the other side of the Ring of Fire, California. They're concerned about that at least. Paul Earle is a seismologist with the U.S. Geological Survey, and he was involved in a study that focused on this. Great to have you here. So tell us a little bit about this study.
This study, I actually wasn't involved with it, but I've spoken to the researchers that have done this work.
Gotcha.
This study looks at seismic waves that propagate throughout the entire Earth, and basically the whole Earth shakes after a very large earthquake. And they're investigating if these vibrations, very far away from an earthquake, can weaken faults and make earthquakes happen a little bit before they would have happened normally.
Well, first of all, why are there so many, I guess you could say, significant earthquakes happening right now in the Pacific Rim area, the Indonesia area? And we're showing a map right now. I don't know if you can see it, of all the earthquake locations. Why is this happening? Is it abnormal?
It's not particularly normal nor abnormal. You'd expect if these are completely unrelated random events, about every 30 years we would see a clustering like this. But as studies like we mentioned earlier are looking at, it's possible that the waves generated from a very large earthquake could weaken and make the chances of these earthquakes happening a little bit more possible, causing this clustering.
Of course, Americans are sitting here watching this going, well, especially those living near the San Andreas Fault, going, well, wait a second, if you just said an earthquake will, especially a larger earthquake, will have an impact around the rest of the world. What kind of significant impact could it have along the San Andreas Fault?
What it would do on the San Andreas is it would potentially, what the researchers are saying, it will potentially weaken that. So the earthquake, if it was going to happen maybe in the next 10 years, might happen earlier than it would have. This would potentially make the earthquake a little bit smaller than it would have been if that distant earthquake didn't happen and happen a little bit earlier.
What are you getting as far as your analysis on the San Andreas Fault and other earthquake-prone areas in the United States? What's your biggest concern? What area would you think would be the hot spot?
In California, the San Andreas is obviously the sleeping giant there. That's what caused the 1906 earthquake. This is obviously a huge concern. There are many splay faults in California that are also a concern and cause lots of damage. So people in California should always be wary of earthquakes and have a plan in place for the eventual earthquake that will happen.
That fault runs north and south, up and down.